Can't scare me. Not this time. Welcome to Who's Your Main? It's the Jared and Anthony show. Oh, excuse me. Anthony and Jared show.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
How you doing? Welcome to tonight's show. This morning, wherever you're at. Okay, now you do one.
Okay, that's really good high energy. Yeah, I'll follow that up. Maybe bring it in with like, hey everybody, how's it going? This is Jared and Anthony show. I mean the Anthony and Jared show.
Hey,
who's your main?
You're just copying me.
Oh,
you even did the shitty Jared first joke. Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes. That was mine. Okay, I'm doing a different one. I'm going to do it like Anthony.
Okay.
Hello, this is Anthony.
That's not how I talk. It's not how I sound. I have a very dynamic voice, and it's not nasally at all.
Hello, this is Anthony. We're playing. Okay. I can't do it. I can do Beavis.
We're immediately off the rails, so I'm starting with this. There was a very short-lived show where they brought back like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, but they're like adults now, and I think it only ran for like one season or something like that. But there's a scene where Daffy Duck goes up to Bugs and he's like, "You're my friend. You're supposed to tell me if there's something wrong with me." And then Bugs Bunny just starts listing everything wrong with Daffy Duck. And he's like, "Those are just quirks. They're not flaws."
I miss the Looney Tunes, the original show, of course. I don't think I ever watched that one that you were watching, but that one quote that we say all the time is from it. Am I a wizard?
Yes.
If I could cut that in so everybody can be a part of that.
Yeah. Give the editor some extra work.
Yeah, he loves like dig so deep, and put a sound effect somewhere. Give me the boy.
Awooga.
Yeah. Oh, that's too many. That's gonna be
okay.
Good.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah. Well.
Rein it in.
Yeah. Well.
What are we talking about this week? What are we doing?
I don't think we even told. We personally are 10 days into January here. We're supposed to be rocking through some sci-fi games, and what kicked that all off was Zero. Well, I think we inspired Zero to play Mass Effect, and then I saw that Legendary Edition go on sale for what was it, like $5?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just rung the town bell to you and Zero. Bang, bang, it's on sale, boys. And so we grabbed it up for January because we were doing the Metal Gear, and that made us want to like dive into other sci-fi games. So we're supposed to be doing that, but I think I spent several days just playing Mega Man Zero, and I think you were wanting to talk about this since the last episode was a Long Dark.
Yeah. We both kind of did the same thing, which is we poured ourselves into doing that Metal Gear Solid, retro replay, and those are so not exhausting, but like they take so much focus that you really have to like almost, have a little bit of a brain reset after you get done with one of those. And so we both immediately fell into our like stereotypes. You went back to Mega Man, I went back to survival games, and I immediately booted up Fallout 4 and I was playing through it. And I was like, no, I've played this game 100 times. I don't need to play it again. I'm going to play something new. And so I went to an indie game that I had, it was kind of on the backlog, and I was like, sure, let's go ahead. This is a good time to do it. And essentially what it is, you are a pilot, and your ex-wife comes into your hangar, and she's like, "I need you to fly me out into Canada. I'm seeing a patient." She's a doctor, and she's like, "I'm seeing a patient. I need you to fly me out there." And you're like, "I can't do it. It's a storm. If we go out, there's a way too big of a risk." And she's like, "I need you to do this. This is like the last thing I'm going to ask from you. Do this, and then I'll leave you alone forever." And you're like, "Okay, fine, whatever." And so you get into the plane, you're flying over the Canadian wilderness, and like some kind of weird storm happens, like an electrical storm happens, and it fries your plane, and you crash, and you wake up, and you're freezing to death. You're, at risk of hypothermia. Your ex-wife is nowhere to be seen, and you have to survive. Basically, the game is that's it. There is no like, here's how you do stuff. You just start playing. And I've talked about this before. The art style is absolutely breathtaking. It's a hand painted art style, so everything at a distance looks very crisp and detailed. But then, like as you get up to it, it's hand painted. It's very artistic, and so it's just a very unique, presentation of the game. And then on top of that, you have to it's very survival-esque. So you have to manage your hunger, thirst, and it's kind of like all clumped into one bar, but it's essentially like your sleep / your stamina bar. And so you have to manage those three resources. You have to manage, disease, eating bad food makes you sick, injuries. So like if you try to jump off of a mountain, you can break your leg. That will impact your running speed. It can impact your pain tolerance. And then on top of that, you get kind of like this grace period where it's like, okay, you're trying to survive, you're trying to settle in. Well, then wildlife starts, appearing as you start scavenging for supplies. So there's deer, rabbits, those are obviously non-hostile towards you. You can fish, which I loved. And then there are also wolves and cougars. I played for about 10 days and got killed by a wolf and had to start all over, because it's survival difficulty. So if you die, you start over. So I played for about 10 days, died, got killed by a wolf, and then I was hooked. I was like, oh, okay, well, first of all, I'm coming back. I'm wiping out all of these wolves, and I'm using all of your furs for blankets and coats and backpacks and all of that stuff, crafting materials. I'm coming back. And so I did. I've been playing that like crazy. It's been really fun.
I don't know why, but I'm surprised you haven't played Minecraft, because I feel like there's a lot of similarities there, at least at the beginning of survival mode, because that's like the main mode that people play in Minecraft is survival. But anyway, we totally left off the fact that there was a rebirth jog there.
Oh, yeah.
between the Metal Gear and what we were doing now. We were just like wiped out from intense storytelling and intense research. Yeah, that Long Dark, that's like right there in your pocket of of games. You didn't tell them that story. You've been getting trapped in the truck that you told me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, so the way that I died, I essentially what you do is you have these different zones, and you go around and you're looting, and you can go into a building and you try to find food or water or supplies or whatever. And I had built up my supplies well enough that I was like, hey, I feel like I'm pretty confident. I'm going to go to a different zone and move. So I'm leaving the safety of my base and I'm going to try to go. And so I filled up my backpack with as much supplies as I could, and I, go into the next zone. And the game has a mechanic. It's literally just called stink, and it's if you're carrying meat on you, you start radiating stink. So like if you kill a deer and you process it, you're gonna have stink on you because you've got blood and guts and all of that stuff all over you. And I was at tier 1 stink, and I was like, it's fine. I'm going to a new zone, a little stinky, but that's okay. Wolves aren't going to bother me. I got swarmed by 6 wolves at once. Now, keep in mind, normally when you're playing, you face one wolf, and the way that you deal with it is by you take out a flare and you drop it on the ground, and then you pull out your gun, and if the wolf charges you, then you fire. And it's not like you have a machine gun. You have like a single shot gun, and then it's like, well, I got to reload, and bolt action rifle, or you have a pistol. And I got swarmed by 6 wolves at once, so I just take off running. I'm like, I can't fight them. There's too many. So I take off running. I find a truck and run in, slam the door behind me, and they circle the truck And I'm like, okay, I'll wait them out. You know, they'll leave me alone. No, I rested for an hour. They were still there. Rested for, I went to bed for, I think like 4 to 6 hours, whatever it was. They were still there. So I was like, okay, I'm going to starve to death if I stay in this truck. I have to just leave the meat and hope that they go for the meat. And then I'm going to sprint in the other direction. And I dropped the meat, took off running, and, one or two of them stayed and ate the meat. And then the other 4 chased me, and then they cornered me and killed me. Yeah. Great.
I feel like you just told me a story of like a book, like a survival book, and that was the horrible ending that made you go, ugh, that was too fucked.
I have never experienced this in a game before. So one of the main mechanics of the game is light. Do you have a torch? Do you have a lantern? Like if I'm traveling at night, I can probably, stumble my way through the woods and find my way wherever it is that I'm trying to go. But like, let's say there's a storm. Now all of a sudden I have no idea where I am. I have no sense of direct, north, south, east, west. You don't have a compass. You don't have a map. And I have literally never experienced this in a game. I've only ever experienced it in real life where I was going out, I had left my base and I was going out to get wood for a fire. And I have traveled this path probably 20 times, since I started playing this game. Go out, get wood, come back. Go out, get wood, come back. And I was like in the middle of going out to get wood, and I just stopped in my tracks, and I was like, oh my God, I'm lost. Like I had wandered off the path, and I was like, this isn't the right way. I'm lost. And I like, you like look around for a landmark, and there's nothing, it's just open snow and trees. And I was like, oh my God, like, well, pick a direction. That's not what you would do in a real survival situation, but you just pick a direction and start walking. And it was the wrong way. And it was like the most terrifying thing. Nothing is hunting you. Nothing is hurting me. But I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough supplies. You instantly are like, oh my gosh, I left my fire starter back at the base because I thought I was just going out and coming right back. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to freeze to death. I'm going to starve. And it's like, yeah, I was like genuinely terrified just going out to get wood because I had lost visibility for a second and then couldn't find my way back. It was insane. Very fun. 10 out of 10.
I wish we could throw visuals up on this because it really is just a gorgeous game. Yeah. Even the fire, it looks like a painting. It's really cool. He's not kidding. He's shown me a couple of times, and I was just like, damn, I would play that. I would play that game.
I've never experienced a game that glorified pitch dark before. You know what I mean? Like most games are like, it's dark outside, but you can still see everything as if it was still daytime. It's just has like this filter on that. It's like, oh, okay, I know that you're trying to tell me that it's nighttime. This is like pure dark. There is no ambient light anywhere. There's no. It's like, well, I can walk towards that fire. There is no fire. You're the only person out there. There is no. I'll walk towards the street lamps. There are no street lamps. You're in the middle of the wood. It's just pitch dark when it's nighttime. So you can't see unless you produce light, and that's just such a strange thing. Like, it's not that it excited me or anything like that, but that's such a strange thing to be as a feature in your game. I remember that being a big deal in like Skyrim mods and Fallout mods where it's like dark. It's too bright out when it's nighttime. It should be darker. I remember Darker Nights being a really big mod, and this game was like, oh yeah, no, we did that right from the get go. It's like perfect. Thank you.
I guess only in caves is it really. It's pitch black in Minecraft without a torch, and if you don't have a torch, you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, well, imagine you go out to look for food, right? And it's like, I'm going to take 2 hours and I'll come right back to my base. Well, something happened, like let's say you run into a wolf and now you have to stay out 4 hours. And it's like, okay, well, I didn't bring stuff for that, or I don't have enough supplies on me for that, because I just haven't found those things yet. And it's genuinely terrifying to have something like that happen. And it's just such a unique experience. It's a very, I would never, it's a very hard thing to recommend. Like, I don't know if you would have a good time with it because for all intents and purposes, it's a walking simulator and and a rummage sale simulator. You know what I mean? Like, oh boy, I found garbage, and it's like, yeah, but I can burn that garbage. Or you just find like mountains of clothes, and it's like, well, dude, I can rip those apart and turn those into cloth. Like, I don't think a lot of people are going to get excited about a game like that. At the same time, I thought that was sick because it boosts up your sewing skill, and I'm like, oh, the bar's getting bigger.
It's pretty specific game, but I think it's really, it's pretty important. That's an important game to talk about, in my opinion, because I don't know, just that's where we're at in modern gaming. Is we have all these like very honed down specific game that fits the person that's playing it. This is my target audience. I don't fucking care about anybody else, and I like that.
Yeah,
because then it's like, yeah, actually, well, I think the curse of you and I is like, maybe I see the game like on Steam and I'm like, yeah, whatever. But you start talking about it and I watch a video of it. I'm like, well, you could just hand me the controller for like 10 minutes. I just want to play it myself. We have that curse where
yeah, exactly.
I see somebody playing it. I'm like, oh, I'll try it.
I think I even streamed it for you. And I was like, hey, this isn't going to be very exciting. I just want to show you the visuals of this game.
Yeah, but I was sitting there glued.
And it's like, oh yeah. Well, that's pretty.
I was like, is that a wolf?
That's pretty. Yeah. What'd you say this game was called? It's just you hear the typing in the background. It's like, okay, all right.
You're like, wait a minute. He's like, turn the stream off. Hey, put that back on. I'm watching that.
Yeah.
So you had been playing that. And I already fucking gushed about Mega Man Zero games. I'm on the fourth one. The only thing I wanted to add about the fourth one was they totally went back to like the map of the like Reploid enemies, the Mavericks or whatever. Instead of just being like, here's a picture, pick one of the four. This one's got like the map, and you mouse over it to the different maps, and then there's like a weather mechanic. And you can go and fight the bosses in a harder difficulty in the hardest Mega Man game, and in their preferred weather. And something else happens to get the EX skill or something. But I went to the first boss that I picked was this Mandragora boss. I don't know. It's like a plant, I think. And part of the mechanic in 04 is the zero knuckle, where you can grab enemies and like pull them apart, and then you get to use like a temporary power based on the enemy that you just like ripped up.
That's awesome.
Which is incredible. And I was like, this should be a fucking Mega Man X move. What the fuck is Zero doing this? Whatever. I don't care. This is fucking awesome. And so that's really cool. So I get to the boss, and the boss is like going in the ground. And I was like, surely not. And I ran over. When they came out of the ground, you could rip the boss out of the ground and they go flying into the wall. I was like, what? Whoa!
That's pretty good.
Pretty sick.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm still working through that, but I got sidetracked by a thought, because we had started playing Mass Effect, and we were debating on whether or not one of us should play as FemShep. And I'd made that list of all the sci-fi heroines that are like in history. I wonder if I still have that somewhere. But it was like, we were like, holy shit, maybe we should. Not to mention, like, the voice actress is Jennifer Hale. Like, this is a voice actress that we grew up with in tons of shows. Not to mention a callback to Metal Gear Solid. She was Naomi in Metal Gear Solid. And we were like, oh, fuck, the voice actress for FemShep, or what I'm saying. I don't think I clarified that. I'm so fucking, my mind's racing about it. But so I was like, well, like the one that I thought of like immediately was Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark. And so I found that mod for Perfect Dark to play it with a mouse and keyboard. It's a 64 game, by the way, folks. And I was like, holy shit, this is so fucking awesome. Go back and play that game. So I'm gonna try to run through that before next recording, so we can talk about that.
That's a game where, I think everybody knows about GoldenEye, and that was kind of like the multiplayer game supreme on the Nintendo 64. anybody who was in the know knew that Perfect Dark was a better multiplayer game than GoldenEye was. It was infinitely more fun because the guns were better. All of the guns had an alternate fire, which was just awesome. The stage were like these alien stages, and the music was way more up tempo. And yeah, I could gush about that game a ton. It was very fun.
This is gonna sound like a mini deep dive because it kind of is, but so they were making Perfect Dark, or not Perfect Dark. They were making GoldenEye, right? And they made that, and they were, okay, well, we want to make the next James Bond movie into a game, which I think was Tomorrow Never Dies. And so they were him-hawing about the design and the story, and they were kind of pigeonholed into the story, and so they were bidding on to make the game, and they missed the bid, like they didn't win. So they have all this like ideas and resources, and they're like, well, what if we just made our own IP? And they made Perfect Dark, and it's fucking awesome. It's a fucking awesome game. And you and I just like lightning bolted back to that storyline, which we'll share that with you another time, folks. But Joanna. And so I was like, I'm sold. I'm playing FemShep, but I found my list here of all the female sci-fi heroines that made me go, okay, we're doing a FemShep run. I'm gonna read them to you again.
Yeah, do it.
And to the folks at the home for the first time. Samus Aran, which Jennifer Hale did her voice in the Prime series, all the oohs and ahs that she does as she doesn't talk in that game. Joanna Dark, obviously Perfect Dark. Dana Scully from the X-Files. Ripley from Alien. Captain Janeway from Star Trek. That's an obvious one. But another one that I think should count is Beverly Crusher from Star Trek. And then I'm sure many people know this one, Lilu from The Fifth Element. I mean, that's an iconic character if you haven't seen that movie. And then there was some obscure ones that are from shows that I'd never seen, but I had found them when I was Googling stuff. And excuse me if I butcher any of these character names because I haven't seen these shows. But Lyta Alexander from Babylon 5, Jewel from Farscape, and Maya from a show called Space 1999, which was like, I think kind of part of the inspiration for Mass Effect. And I was just like, fuck, dude, there's been so many. What are we doing? We got to do FemShep. What are we doing? So it's been a really cool playthrough to hear the range on Jennifer Hale, because like she doesn't sound anything like Naomi or any of the seductresses that she's played in other voice actors. She sounds like a fucking captain. What the fuck? This is so weird. This is a weird playthrough for me.
Yeah, we've been playing, simultaneously on Discord, and I can hear your game through your speaker, and you can hear my game through my speakers. And it's like you'll go through something, and then a couple minutes will pass by, and then I'll have that same dialogue, and like I can hear you like perk up and laugh, hearing my choices, because not only am I playing Male Shepherd and you're playing Fem Shepherd, but I'm playing Renegade and you're playing Paragon, and so a lot of the choices, you'll come up and you're like, oh, I really want to pick that, but no, I've got to be the good boy that I am, and pick the blue side, and then I'll come back through later, and I'm just like, red choice, click.
Red, here, punch him.
Yeah,
don't care. Fucking like fighting the fucking like wheel back up, like I just want to tell this guy to piss off. And then you give him the Boy Scout answer, and you're like, ah! And even Rex was like, you should have just killed him, Shepard.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Rex, you're right, and that's what I wanted to do because I'm standing here. By the way, like re-meeting my favorite character in the Mass Effect series, and he's only in this one as a party member, Rex, that is. Like it's like shaking an old hand. You had a really great quote when you added him to the team. What was it?
I said, get this guy a shotgun and 5 shots of whiskey.
Yeah, I fucking had to put my fucking controller down when you said that.
the recruitment of Rex, we both did it nearly simultaneously in our playthroughs. And for yours, he's in the middle of being arrested. And, they're like, do you want me to arrest you? And he's like, I want to see you try. And then, you walk up and you're like, come on, Rex, I want you to be on my team. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know if I should join you, Shepard. You're a human. I hear you. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. And then like my renegade Shepard walks up and he like eyes me up and down. And we just like dap up and like shake hands. And it's like, you had to go through this whole dialogue tree of like, oh, come on, Rex, I want you on the team. And like, for me, it was just like, hey, you want to kill people?
Yeah.
All right.
You wanted to kill that Fist guy. He's like, I'm going to kill Fist, he says to the cops. And you run up and go, no, I'm going to kill Fist. And then Rex turns, looks at you, looks you up and down, and then just fucking hands you like,
just straight.
Okay, let's go. I was like, I wanted to do that.
Actually, Rex, I don't know if we should kill people. The moral dilemma of that.
But shut up.
And then my guy just walks up, Rex,
Shepard. Yeah, fucking, I love that character. So every time he talks, I'm like, I love him.
Yeah.
Hey, Rex, do you think that we should? Yes, I think we should kill them. Okay. Now remember, Joanna, we're a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Girls, whatever. We're a scout.
Now I do have to confess one thing, because like when it's Garrus, when it's Rex, like we're in full on bro mode, and Garrus is sitting there bitching and complaining about like, oh, CSEC, I had to do everything by the rules, but now that I'm with you, we get things done. There is no like red tape. There's no bureaucracy. That's a bad guy, and we take him down, and now there's no more bad stuff going on, and I'm like, yes, exactly. I go over to Rex, and me and him are like, listen, man, that guy's bad. We kill him. It's like, yes, dap him up and then leave. And then I go to the girls on the team, and they're like, are you going to say something mean to me? And I'm like, no, you're all perfect. You're all sweet angels. I would never say anything mean to you. I've got full renegade, except for when it comes to talking to like Tally and Ashley and Liara, because I'm just like, no, shh. You're okay.
Getting Tally this time, that realization that she's a fucking front. She's basically a fucking like Krogan with a shotgun.
Yes. Yeah.
I was sitting there, I was like, wait a minute. I'm like looking at her stats. I was like, I've played her wrong my whole life. I'm like looking, she can get shotguns. She can get extra shields on top of shields. I was just like, you send her in and you have her up there with Rex. That's a devastating duo. That's double shotguns, baby.
Yeah.
With big shields. I was like, what the fuck, Tally? What the fuck?
Get her a shotgun and half a shot of tequila.
Yeah. Fuck it. Give her the whole bottle.
Give her the whole thing.
Oh, fuck. Tally, wait a minute. She's like fucking affixating that thing onto her suit to pump the fucking juice into her nose. Oh my God. That doesn't make any sense to the folks because that have played it. Tally's his character. It originally, she has like a visor on and you can't see her face. But I have a mod where someone's made her a face after 20 years. When did that game come out?
2009, I think we looked it up and said, or 2000. Yeah, around there.
Oh, fucking 2007.
2007.
Okay, it's almost been 20 years. Oh, fuck. Anyway, this game really is retro. But man, seeing her face, I don't care. I know it's not a canon face. I don't care. That made me so happy. So old man happy. Anyway, that's been our Mass Effect journey right now.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of games that I want to play this month. I still need to get on some more Dawn Trail. We were talking about sci-fi. Speaking of sci-fi, I really should bring this up. You talked about this before we started recording it, and I think it's pretty important because Dawn Trail's got a lot of flack in the Final Fantasy world, Final Fantasy 14 world, for not being that great of an expansion, but it is really fucking cool. And talking about sci-fi, I mean, we've got the past versus the future stuff going on, which I think was a pretty common theme there for a little bit in gaming media. The other reference being Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Those games had the co-Ride-On and my Ride-On Pokemon that were like, one was prehistoric version and the other one was like a fucking motorcycle from the future. Well, Dawn Trail pretty much did that, and we're on the patch notes now, and we're pretty much just living in cyberpunk Final Fantasy 14. I was telling you about that because I know you've not played it.
Yeah,
but it's really fucking cool. I need to get back on there. I know my Final Fantasy friends are they're missing. They're definitely missing the big Hrothgar watermelon cat, man. Get on there and play Picto some more. I don't know if I could go back to Picto. Maybe I can. I don't remember how to play now. It's crazy how that happens to me. It ain't like riding a bike.
I remember when you tried to get me into that game, and I was like, man,
you should.
Well, and you were like, I really think you would like this. And I'm like, nah, I've tried MMOs before. I really don't like them. I just like the core gameplay loop. I just don't like. And you're like, just try it. It's got that really good, the really good free trial. The meme of that. And
yes.
And I was like, okay, you know what? It's free. I'll try it. And you told me to spawn in Limsa, and I spawned in, and I looked to my left, and there was a small, I forget what the race is called, but the small Lalafell. There was a Lalafell getting a lap dance from a bunny woman.
Yes, the Vieira.
And keep in mind, I have played this game for 30 seconds, and I've been exposed to this.
I told you.
And I was like, all right, well, I guess I can give this game a try.
Yes. What I say about the fucking pirate mommy? What was that fucking stupid joke I made the other day? I don't even. Oh yeah.
No, I don't know.
She's got the treasure and the chest. Merylweb. Yes. Come join the maelstrom.
Yes.
Yeah. I fucking love. I've played that game since it came out, on and off. Not straight through. I'm not a psychopath. No, I'm just kidding. Anyone who's done that, that's incredible. It's a great game. The story that they call it the MSQ, the main story scenario, whatever. I can't remember what the fucking stands for. Main scenario quest. That's probably what it is. That storyline up to Endwalker is fucking incredible. It is a great Final Fantasy experience. Even if you're not really like keen on continuing to the harder difficulties. My friends, they do Savage and Ultimates. Some of them are Perfect Legends now. 3 of them, I can't remember now. But we have a great time. I mean, it's MMO fare after you beat the story, but they put so much solo play stuff in there. Sometimes it's like twisting people's arms. Hey, come play the new dungeon. It's like, well, I gotta watch the MSQ because it's voice acted, But now we have like these futuristic motorcycles, and it's just really cool.
It's an incredible, not only is it an incredible game, it's incredible of what it was, and they had the wherewithal to scrap that old game and basically say, like, this isn't fun. We're going to make something that is, just trust us. We're going to wipe the world, and we're going to make something new, and it's going to be better. And I have to, I have only played through A Realm Reborn. And I have to be honest, it's exactly what I thought. I played World of Warcraft when I was in college, and that's the experience that I thought I was going to get with this game. And A Realm Reborn was very close to that. But I have watched you play, and I've watched the Final Fantasy friend group play, and it's nothing like that. It's so much better, and you really do have to power through a couple of like 50 levels you have to power through. And once you get to there, it really is. It's very cinematic. It's very grandiose. It's Final Fantasy. It's what you should get when you play Final Fantasy. And I'm very upset that I can't invest more into that.
It's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. And that's a gameplay loop that it's not even that it doesn't interest me. It's that like, I don't know how to embrace that, if that makes sense. So like, it's like, go do the MSQ. It's like, okay, I can do that, and I'll grind through it. And if you tell me to grind through it, I'll grind through it. But the problem with that is, you've got I don't know how many expansions now. 7, 8,
7.
7.
Do I know off the top of my head? No.
I mean, so that right there, if each one is 100 hours, that's 700 hours of catching up, and it's just daunting. I do want to do it. There is a very large part of me that has that on my backlog and is like, I want to go back. Not only do I want to go back, the psycho in me is like, I could get those, not the list in the game, but the trophies on the PlayStation app. It's still insane, but not nearly as insane as what's in the game. I think I could do it.
What, 100% the game?
No. The trophy list.
Oh,
the trophy list. Yeah, no.
My brain was looking up how many expansions. Okay, so there's Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and Dawn Trail is the latest one.
5.
And that's 5.
Okay.
And really, if you go up to Endwalker and beat that, I think you'll be satisfied. It is a conclusion to a story. And Dawn Trail starts like a new story. You're still your character that just, it's typical Final Fantasy fare. Like, we're fighting a cat. And then the fucking last boss, we're fighting the thought of God, not just God. Yeah. Like what God thinks about. And like, what? What are we doing? What?
It's very off-putting to play a game. I'm used to Final Fantasy VII where it's like, I'm the hero. I'm Cloud Strife. I'm the hero. And then you go play and you're like, you're the hero of light. And it's like, yeah, here we go. And then it's like, you're one of 100,000 heroes of light. And it's like, oh.
No, it's not that. That's not how the story is presented at all.
Then I'm backwards.
It's crazy. You're playing with a bunch of people that are going there, the warrior of light or whatever. But the story is presented that you're like the only warrior of light that has won. And then when you go to do trials and stuff, like those are supposed to, like your friends coming in are supposed to signify your grand companies. And then later you're summoning other versions of yourself in the storyline. Technically, it's fucking crazy. It is crazy. It's a good story. It like in a like Warcraft, you're not really that important to the storylines that are going on. This is like the only way story can even progress is with your character in being involved. Like a fucking walking tactical nuke. They're like, get the guy in here. Get him. They do a really good job. They don't end up calling you fucking champion or warrior of light all the time. They usually are like, they dance around the pronoun. And it's really, it's well written, obviously.
Cool.
Anyway, but you're right. A Realm Reborn is not looked upon with like really fond eyes to new players. But as you play through the story, you really look back and you're really grateful for all that world building they did. It was boring as fuck. You had to sit there and pick up poop and stuff. But once you get to Heaven's Ward, I mean, just the patches leading up to Heaven's Ward are pretty intense. And then the story gets really crazy, really fast, all the way up into Stormblood. I could gush about that game for a long time. The story was incredible, but I've got my fill of of the harder bits of the game. I'm good.
Yeah.
Let me sit out, boss. I just want the MSQ. That's all I want. Also, Papa Yoshi, if you could add a class that's not a tank that does the bonk, that would be really good for me because I don't want a tank. I just want a bonk.
I will say the ninja class that I was playing, very fun.
Yes.
Very fun. Yeah. I don't know how, viable that is, how competitive that is. Very fun to play.
All the classes are pretty competitive. Now, if you're talking about like Savage and stuff, it just depends on the party makeup, whether or not you have certain ranged or melee. Usually groups want to have like 2 melee, 2 ranged, for their damage dealers. And then the shield, there's 2 different kinds of healers, there's 2 different kinds of tanks, but then there's like all those classes in between. They're a bore everybody with the nitty-gritty of 14's harder content. But it's pretty incredible. Once you know the nuances of it and how people are doing it, you're like, God damn, you have that fucking memorized? And then you memorize the fight? It's fucking incredible. I suck at this fucking game. But we still got a lot of sci-fi games to play. I want to get through Metroid, the original, before the end of the month. I hope to get to it. It's a pretty short game. I've never beat it, but it shouldn't be too hard to tackle. Well, you got any other things that you're trying to tackle before next week or this month?
I mean, obviously, we want to get through Mass Effect first, and that's kind of my main focus. I threw a couple games on there, just sci-fi games that are on my backlog. The one that I am like, not, I wouldn't say I'm itching to play it, but it's like it's very close to the top of that list. Is a game, Destiny.
Oh yeah,
Is a first-person shooter made by Bungie for PlayStation, and it's kind of like an MMO.
Yeah.
It's such a weird way to describe this. It's a looter shooter kind of. It's a MMO shooter kind of. It's such a weird game. But I originally got it when I very first got my PlayStation 4. I got my PlayStation 4 used, and it came with a bundle of games. It basically came with all of the PlayStation 4 exclusives at the time. Destiny, Bloodborne, and Killzone, I think is what it's called. Yeah, basically all of the first party games. And I played Destiny. I really liked it, but I never finished it. And I just am like itching to get into that world and see if I like it and see if it's something I want to platinum.
I was just thinking about this before we started talking. I did play. I don't remember if it was Destiny 1 or 2. I don't remember. It was on, I think, the Blizzard launcher there for a minute. And I just remember making this like guy with purple skin with really bright orange eyes. And I thought he looked so fucking cool. I had no idea what was going on with the story with that or the races or anything like that. I have no idea. And I'm sure someone is out there like, whoa, Destiny, I love that fucking game. And it was pretty cool. I know it had classes because I remember I was playing something that was like big and strong because I wanted to, you know what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
The boy was trying to get a shotgun. That's all he wants.
I'll take the biggest, the biggest log that you have. I'll take the biggest shotgun that you have.
Yeah. Well, I'll take the biggest gun that I can carry if that's an option.
Yeah.
Someone else can have the shotgun if there's a fucking minigun.
Right.
Let me carry that. Give me that. Get the fuck out back, son. Lights the cigar.
Yeah. If your gun sounds like you're starting up an engine, that's the gun for you.
I'll have that. Yeah. Give me that. Do you want this flamethrower? No.
Nah.
You can have that.
I want that lawnmower over there.
Yeah. Is that a fucking bazooka? Give me that.
Yeah.
Don't shoot that in front of you on the ground. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I'll fight you. I'll kill us both. I'm like my immune system. I'll kill us both, virus.
Yes. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm over there. I play every game the exact same. I don't care if I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3. I don't care if I'm playing Mass Effect. I want Eldritch Blast. I want one big sniper rifle that just it's a solid beam that comes out of my gun.
Yeah.
And literally happened when we were playing Warhammer.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I was standing in the back and there's these two chaos dudes spawn and I'm just like, no problem. Boom, boom. Headshot both of them, get them into the flashing. You and John both ran up and like ripped them apart. And I'm like, that's my power fantasy right there. Standing in the back, go, my minions. Rip them to shreds. Yes.
Kill them.
I will stand back here and watch. Yes.
That was one of the most incredible, like our original trio of game, me, you, and Lemon, the original trio. That was one of the greatest moments. Because John and I have a pretty similar play style, I would say. We're both very aggressive and very forward. And so you had fucking sniped those two guys and they were flashing. Me and John were racing to kill them with our fucking chainswords. And then we both saw them flashing at the same time. We both hit execute, both do a fucking glory kill at the same time while your beams are still blasting past us to kill the other guys that are around. It was so cinematic. I was just like, damn, I wish I had fucking that recorded. God damn it.
Yeah, this has been a long time ago now, but like back when Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out, I remember 4 came out and that like changed the game. You know, that's when Call of Duty really took off as like an online multiplayer game, was Call of Duty 4. And then I played Modern Warfare 2 And I don't remember why or like what the situation was or something like that. I think like Jeremy was coming home from college or something like that, and he was like, him and Sarah were like, "Hey, let's play some video games." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, whatever you guys want to play." Thinking it was going to be like Mario Kart or something like that. And Jeremy was like, "Let's play Call of Duty." And I was like, "Yeah, I haven't played that game in a long time. I'm probably pretty rusty, but okay." And they were like, "Well, we'll all be on separate teams." And I was like, "No, you two be on a team, and I'll be by myself." They're like, "Are you sure?" And it's like, yeah. And then I pick the sniper rifle, and Jeremy's like, "Well, I don't know if I would do that. I would probably pick like a machine gun." And I was like, "You pick your gun, and I'll pick mine." And then it was just like, or like this even goes back to back when we used to play. I think it was Medal of Honor, where like I would be in the back with the sniper rifle, and Bryce would be with the trench gun. And just like running in, and it would be like anytime anybody pops their head out, I snipe them, and then Bryce loops around the back and just ga. It's just awesome.
Run. Yeah. Those two play styles I always thought worked so well together. Like either the shotgun guy runs in and flushes them out, and then you got shooting fish in a barrel, or you start shooting and they run for cover, and then your shotgun guy standing there like, "Hi." This is going to kill us both now, if you don't mind. Why are you dropping so many grenades?
There's a reason this gun's classified as a war crime.
Yeah. I'll take one of those shots of whiskey, Rick. If you don't mind. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Right. Folks need to go about their day. All right. Well, we hope to see you next time on Who's Your Main
Z.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. See you.
Oh, I forgot how to make him leave.
See ya, I said.
Type it. Stop.
See ya.
Stop.